It can be said that since leaving the royal family, Meghan's popularity has continuously declined. But as a stubborn and calculating delusional individual, she simply can't learn any lessons. And just like that, she lost her reputation without stopping. We're going to update you on this issue in this video. After a series of scathing remarks about the royal family over the space of about 4 years, Meghan's popularity has continued to sink, especially in the UK. Speaking on GBNews America, Lady Colin Campbell said that Meghan is failing to learn from her errors and blames everyone else for her mistakes. But she is angry because no matter what she does, it fails, and no matter what Catherine does, she succeeds. Speaking of Meghan, she went on to say, she has a billionaire lifestyle without the money. They're quickly running into serious problems financially. Alright, so first of all, it was Meghan and Harry who wanted to step down from their positions as senior working royal. But the fact is, Meghan was never really a senior royal. Now, once upon a time, Harry was third in line to the throne, but he had slipped down the pecking order to sixth by the time he married Meghan Markle. And if you ask me, that's minor royal status. And he could have married somebody so much better. He could have married a beautiful, classy, upper-class British girl, and they could have just lived in private on one of the royal estates. They could have retired from public life if Harry hated it so much, and they could have just lived in the lap of luxury in the UK with plenty of money. But instead, he and that Z-lister mattress actress were so disrespectful to the UK, the Queen. And, they tried to set themselves up as the royal family of America, which of course was never going to happen. Both of them made a lot of money, though, out of attacking the royal family. And Brits look at their lifestyle, and really they're shocked at their way of life and all the court cases they get themselves involved in, too. Now, how on earth, though, could anybody compare Meghan Markle to Catherine? Catherine has earned her place in the hearts of the public. I mean, she had a difficult time for 9 years before she and William got engaged, and she was only 22 years old. She was basically a kid. She was followed, she was harassed by media people, she was photographed, and she was written about for years, and not in a very nice way either. But she didn't let that bother her. She just focused on her role in the background while also spending a lot of time educating herself and learning from experts before launching her passion project the early years and shaping up. So Meghan was around 36 years old, older than that probably, and she was a professional actress, and she just came onto the scene from essentially nowhere. She met and married Harry in record time, and she attended 26 public engagements in less than 15 months. But she claims that she was bullied, she felt suicidal, she claimed invasion of privacy by the relentless media, she claimed to be a victim of racism, and all her other complaints and her petty jealousy. So this is why Catherine, Princess of Wales, is always going to succeed and why Meghan Markle never will. Honestly, the two women could not be more different. And Meghan Markle just wants to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars on clothing that doesn't fit her, on private jets. But everybody else has to work hard, has to work 2-3 jobs, perhaps in retail, perhaps in a restaurant as a waitress, perhaps in a factory, or maybe people have to spend hours on the phone trying to sell stuff, or some people have these jobs where they got to drive trucks, drive vans, and they don't get toilet facilities, they're exposed to the elements. Or what about doctors and ambulance crew and firefighters? I mean, they got to work these long shifts, 24, 48-hour shifts, and it's under a lot of stress too. Meanwhile, the two con artists, Harry and Meghan, well, they're always on vacation. They spend more money in a week than most people earn in a year, and they still believe that Brits want to line up and wave to them and smile at them if they show up. Now, the world's media focuses on these two idiots, and nothing about injustice and cruelty and animal welfare, for example, especially in China. I mean, the governments all around the world should be focusing on that, should be dealing with it. And I just can't stand seeing those grinning photos posted everywhere, talking about what they want and what they deserve. They don't deserve anything. Has anybody trashed the royal family as much as Harry has? And think about what kind of lifestyle he has been afforded his entire life. He was born in the lap of luxury, and then went on to bite the hand that fed him by playing the victim. I mean, what is wrong with him? Let's think about Harry's allowance. He was getting $1 million a year from his father, living in a royal grace and favor property, didn't have to pay any bills. It's not like he had to pay his gas bill, his electricity, like most people do. And all we get to see is this horrible, odious pair jetting around on vacations and chasing fame and money. There certainly is a difference, though, between fame and notoriety. Either they don't comprehend that, or maybe it's just that they don't care. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I fantasize about running into Harry and Meghan in public. I would turn around and walk away. Now, if I were walking past a car they were in that was broken down on the side of the road, guess what? I would walk even faster. I wouldn't stop to help those two. I would sooner throw my cell phone into a busy highway than call roadside assistance for those two. They can help themselves. And why should we need to help them? I mean, what? Their popularity has declined? That's not our problem. That's why people don't like them, though, because of the way they act. They are shunned by everyone, by high society, by the royal family in the UK, by A-listers in the US, and it's with very good reason, too. I mean, Harry was born with a silver spoon in his mouth and a big chip on his shoulder, in spite of the fact that he had every opportunity, every privilege imaginable. So many connections, but that wasn't enough for him. The UK public bowed and admired him since he was a baby. And then this Z-list cable TV actress enters his life, and boy did she change everything. She convinced Harry that they were entitled to whatever they wanted, and they should demand whatever they wanted. They should take private jets everywhere. She convinced him that they could be alternative royals in America, set up their own royal court, but of course without any class or substance. Years of trashing the royals, years of drama, years of stories about their toxic opinions follow everywhere they go. So how could any celebrity, how could any successful business person, for example, want to align themselves with such disgusting people? So no wonder negative press seems to follow them everywhere. And the thing about Meghan is she could only hide her true self for so long. Meghan's mask, it slipped pretty quickly. I mean, at the engagement interview, we already saw who she was. Their polling would have definitely gone down if they had remained. There were hints before they left that the rest of the family weren't happy with Meghan's attitude and her lack of respect for the late queen. Moreover, when Meghan left the royal family, I was fine with that. I thought, okay, they just want to live a quieter, more private life. That's their right. I don't blame them for that. But that's not what Meghan Markle wanted. She just wanted to set up her own royal family in the US to compete with the real royals in Britain. Obviously, her publicist did not give her very good advice about comments from members of the public in the UK. Meghan is just beating a dead horse at this point. She's trying to create a brand, but she's a nobody. Nobody's interested in what she has to say, but she still won't shut up. She needs to just go and live a quiet, private life with her invisible children if they're real, and stop trying to spin this narrative that few people are even interested in. But Meghan Markle cannot learn. I don't think she'll ever be able to. She's not royal. She married a royal, but that does not make her royal. Now, being referred to as a royal is earned, much like Her Royal Highness Catherine, Princess of Wales, Her Royal Highness Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh. They have earned the right to be called royal. They have worked so hard on behalf of the monarchy, and they deserve to be called Her Royal Highness. But see, as a narcissist, Meghan Markle is blind to her own disorder. She cannot really look within. She considers herself to be a victim, and she's never going to be able to acknowledge her faults. She doesn't believe that she has any. So honestly, I don't think there's any possibility that she's going to grow as a person. She also needs to stop trying to use her connection to the royal family to grow her business. It's never going to work. Meghan was also never interested in royal life. She never cared about the duties of that position. From the very start, she was calculating. She had a plan. She thought she could snag Harry and then go back to the US, California, to attend all the red carpet events, live in a giant mansion with more bathrooms than anybody could ever possibly need. Meghan Markle has never wanted to come back, though, which is actually a good thing because nobody wants her. See, the sad thing for Meghan that really isn't all that sad because it's her fault is that nobody cares about her. Nobody wants to hear what she has to say. Nobody wants to listen to her advice. Now, Meghan Markle is convinced that she's got control over her destiny and also Harry's destiny. But you know what they say, never interfere with the enemy when she is in the process of destroying herself. And I've known some people who remind me of Meghan. Now, nobody ever as bad as her, but narcissists get very pissed off when they're offered advice, and that's because, well, they already know everything. They consider it an insult. You shouldn't even suggest that they don't know something. Her personality disorder will not allow her to see them as her failings. Instead, she believes that her failures are the failures of her minions, and that's why their staff turnover rate is just out of this world. But really, what has Meghan even done after Suits? What has she accomplished? She got married, she left the firm, and then she tried to sell out the royal family for cash, and now she has to use a proxy to spread her lies, but I'm struggling to think of anything else. But one thing Meghan has learned is how to turn gold into lead, because ever since they left the monarchy, the downward spiral has just continued. So somebody with Meghan's personality never feels regret, and failure is always going to be brushed off as something that just happened to them, something unlucky, something random. It has nothing to do with her. I mean, Meghan is never going to look back. She's never going to question what she has done. And it's a real shame that Catherine is dragged into this story and dragged into comparisons with Meghan. But, the timing for the announcement of Meghan Markle's new venture is an example of another serious miscalculation. And Catherine has just been successful by being an honest person, by being relatable, warm, kind, genuine. I mean, there have been so many good wishes for her complete recovery. Meghan Markle can never achieve such a thing. I don't care what her circumstances are. Meghan just sees an opportunity for PR and she jumps on it. Remember what she did in Uvalde? I mean, how out of touch was that? Alright, just now I shared the information and our analysis about Meghan Markle's inability to learn lessons as her popularity continues to sink. What do you think about this issue? We're going to be happy if you express your thoughts in the comments below. And then please support us with a like, share, and subscribe to the channel.